Mr. President, listen to the people. Search your soul and you will confess. I want you try surviving on the public face. Then you're gonna know but stress. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. They done drive no fair with the citizen. They may want the people speak out. Freedom of speech done gone inside the gutter. Knock off when you open your mouth. Discrimination in entertainment. And you're talking about one Guyana. When the Ministry of Culture keep the big shows. One set of girls and banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. Every picture you take and promise you make, everything you do is about clout. Then you come into me for I shake your hand, there's nothing to smile about. Corruption inside every sector, but when it comes to them they send you. Try investigate efficiency, right? Go talk to Baratans too. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up. I done fed up on the dirty water, low pressure, want scream and tell somebody. Imagine 1500 US and they're telling we super salary. I done fed up on the unemployment racism and the lie they say one Guyana. Cause when you look with the oil money going, circulate with one set of banner. Cause I done fed up, you done fed up, he done fed up, she done fed up, we done fed up, the people fed up. You're hiding corruption inside the cup. Look how evil set up. The people fed up.
Basement level vibes with another one, straight up blackness. Aye, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth. Mark Benskop, radio station is the fruit. Mark Benskop, straight up from the root. Mark Benskop, I do it for the love, him not do it for no money. Straight up, him attack, educating everybody. Big up my friends and big up my family. Turn on the radio, catch the vibes, it's integrity. Straight up, Benskop stands for unity. One people, one nation, one destiny. Free up the truth in the air, even the blind can see. The deaf can hear, the dumb can talk, the cripple can walk. Boom. Who tell the truth? Mark Benskop, defend the ghetto youth.
We out of GT, but and everybody know we run the country, Lord. We out of GT, but and now we got the GT money. But we just run dance all. Your party alright, I read the movie, I sing it, make you bubble and think. We out of GT, and everybody know we run the country, Lord. We out of GT, and now we get the GT money. I saw me born a road, me say, in a pleasant. Since I was a youth, I was a ram dance man. Born a road in a Victoria. The granny say, boy, you better be a singer. Go have a house, me say. I'm a small timer. We are DJ and we are singer. And when them check we out, them find we a big timer. Now the time has come and we show them we know. So listen to we music and go dance by your toe. They couldn't touch me no matter how they try. So if they say they rank with me, I lie, them I lie. Call it. Come Mr. Pacha, rock this I want, eh. Come Mr. Pacha, beg your rock and come on, eh. Come Cracker Jack, sing this ya one. After this ya one, you do it one by one. We out a GT, and everybody know we run the country. Lord, we out a GT, and we get the GT money. Come me say, Banna grow, me say, in a pleasant. There was a youth, there was a ram dance man. Patches, Banna grow in a Victoria. Everybody say, why you better be a singer? Rock have a house, me say, in a pleasant. Just have a house.
I don't know where to start. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I don't know where we are as a people. I don't know where our country is headed. I just don't know. Honestly, I just don't know where we are heading. What's going on in I don't know. Here you go, sweetie. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what to discuss tonight. I don't even know what to say to you guys tonight. I don't even know what's going on in Guyana. I just don't know. I just don't know what's happening. I'll just have to be back. Yeah. Honestly, I don't know if I should just stay right here on this program. For the next, as a phrase Usman is saying, what's going on? Just run the rhythm, right? Run the rhythm. And let the rhythm speak. Let the song speak. But I don't know. Time has gone down, down, down. Really, really far down. Politically, economically, you just name it. Any form of any sort of nonsense every single day. And the bigger picture in all of this is the billions of dollars being taken away, taken out, stolen by the corrupt PPP regime and their friends and families and so forth. And then the mockery of politics, the mockery of leadership across the board. Uh, we have never seen this before. Never seen this before. And it is not politics, guys. It is just not politics. It is not good representation. It is not what we expect, it's not what we want in 2026. It is the skin teeth era. I don't know. It's just not right. Some of you may think it's funny. Yeah. It's just not right. Do you think these things are good examples for young leaders, folks who are now preparing to head out of high school into college, into university, or into some trade school, and people who may have aspirations, young people, in getting involved in politics? When what we see, the counterfeit kind of leadership, the counterfeit politics, I don't know. For me, I don't know how many of you would agree with me. It makes absolutely no sense. That is why the headline is bare nonsense in Guyana. Bare nonsense. And there's no justification. I mean, it might sound as though, or appears as though it's just a comedy show. Comedy show across the board. Comedy show. I don't know. I don't know if I'm wrong for seeing it this way, I don't know if because I'm getting to become an old man that I see things differently now in terms of, for me, it's always been serious representation of the people, not comedy show. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm looking at some of your comments, man. Rhonda Lane, how are you doing? I'm just looking at some of your comments. What's happening? We saw some good representation, and we've got to stay focused, guys. We've got to. Lots and lots of distractions and deliberate. It is orchestrated. It is well planned out from elections to now. The distractions are way too many. And if you guys can't read through the lines, see through the lines, what's happening? Is it a game? Friends fighting each other, back and forth, tit for tat. It's not politics. It's not good political leadership. It's not what Guyana deserves at this time. It's just not. And who loses out of all of this? The ordinary folks. Majority of those in the country are losing out because of lack of real leadership, lack of real political leadership. I don't know. They're nonsense. Anyways, I noticed that these guys in APNU, and we've got to remain focused. We've just got to remain focused, guys. Remain focused. The skin teeth politics is what it is. The skin teeth politics is a form of distraction where friends are fighting each other, chewing each other up, while the deals and the wheelings and the negotiations behind closed doors. Some of y'all will wake up and it'll probably be too late, right? And so let's deal with real issues. And back to this issue here. Last evening, the what we will call shadow minister of legal affairs, the legitimate shadow minister of legal affairs, Dr. Dexter Todd, attorney at law, and others, other MPs like Saiku Andrews and others, were on the ground dealing with real issues. Dealing, not wheeling, dealing with real issues on the ground. And so I saw earlier today, they met with residents. They want to basically address from their hearts, address real issues in Guyana. And that is what's happening. That is what we need, proper representation. And so I saw it this morning with these guys at APNU, along with Simona Brooms, along with VPAC guys. And this is what you call strong and good representation of the people, not distraction, politics of distraction. It's not going to lift Guyana up. It's not going to take Guyana anywhere. It's just not going to. A few folks may be upset and, oh, Mark, oh, but it's not. I'm just not pleased. Guyana is an extremely rich country. To be dabbling in this mediocre form of politics. It's not chess game, you know. This is nothing even close to being described as a chess game. It's not even snake and the ladder. It might be snaky and snake, but it is not even snake and the ladder. Even snake and the ladder, you got to think. It's not even hopscotch, because in hopscotch, you have to have a good balance. It's not even enter hole. I don't know if how many of you remember the game enter hole, right? Where you have to have a good eye and a good average when you throw the marble. And it's not even that. It's wayward, dotish, downright dotish politics, dotish leadership. I don't know, guys. Meanwhile, the people continue to punish across the country, whether it's friendship, and nothing proper is being addressed. Other than, you guys know, I support the 12 MPs who are in Parliament. I support them. We need to see more action from them, but some may say, oh, they're only humans. Yeah, we need to see more. Serious politics, serious representation of the people. We need that. Look at Guyana. Billions of dollars in oil, billions of dollars in gold. And don't think that under the PPP right now that they get some of their friends and cronies aren't smuggling gold, They're still smuggling gold. They're still sending the drugs out of the country under the PPP regime. Who knows, maybe we'll hear of some big bust with tons and tons of cocaine while you guys are being distracted. Call it the politics of distraction. Artificial representation by some. Just move in, take pictures, gone. Move in, wait for another problem, move in, take pictures, gone. I don't know, guys. What else is happening in your neck of the woods? What's happening in Guyana? And let me say kudos again to APNU, those MPs, the Shadow Minister of Home Affairs, or what is it? Shadow Minister of Legal Affairs. And they are my shadow ministers. I support them. I'm not going to waver on my support for nothing and no one. Now, they're not perfect. They'll take some lashes from me sometimes. I don't like the fact that they went and they hung up Mark Phillips. I don't like that. I don't like the fact that Annette Ferguson dropped her Polari, dashed away her Polari sour to go and hug up Priya Manik-Chan. Do you see Priya Manik-Chan out here talking to these little boys, these little kids, these little boys and girls, talking to the single mothers, talking to them? Do you see them out there? It's obvious you don't see them. That is because they don't care. They just don't care. And then you have former minister, whatever her name is, Jennifer Westford. I don't know how many of you saw an article or whatever it is you want to call it. Jennifer Westford is claiming that the opposition, and the way some of these people talk, that you swear to God they're more British than the British. The opposition is using people's situation to gain political points, or could use people's situations to gain political points that are corrupt and the pack of vagabonds in the PPP regime. They are masters at doing that. They do it every day. They do it with the cash grants. They did it with the COVID grants. How many of you remember? How many of you remember the COVID grants? How many of you? To this day, people are still waiting. People still have their pink slips, I'm not sure if Rhonda Lane and others, and Afraz and Beverly Ann Romaine and Hazel Johnson, I don't know if they still have their pink slips. But Jennifer Westford and these vagabonds in the PPP regime, they are the last set of people that can talk about using poor people to gain political mileage. That is what the PPP does every single day. And not every time they're good at it, because we're able to see right through them. Every single day, that's what they do. And so they evict squatters. When they evict squatters like they did to the people at Mocha, we didn't hear the voice coming from that very minister who got rich after she became a minister. They had their big businesses. I'm talking about Jennifer Westford, right? Jennifer Westford. got rich, 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 rich. They had big limousine businesses, brought in long, fancy limousines, maybe duty free, who knows? All these sort of things, running business. Most of them got into government because they see it as a freeloading agency where they go and they, you know what they do, right? And they get into business and all these manner of things. And so where was Jennifer Westford when these things were happening? Compliments of the corrupt PPP regime. When these things were happening to the people of Mocha, Arcadia. Where was Jennifer Westford? When the people of Hillfoot, is it? When the people of Hillfoot were kicked out, kicked off, chased away, where was Jennifer Westford? Where was Priya Manikchand? Where were these people? They were nowhere around. And you know why they weren't anywhere around? It's because they just don't care about people. Now I see Priya jumping up, dancing up, all over, jumping up, dancing up, jumping up, dancing up. She's there all over. You know, who knows? Maybe the PPP might be setting her up for some big position later down. Who knows? But then again, here's another example, and I hope Jennifer Westford, I hope she's watching. I hope Jennifer Westford is Priya Manikchand too, because I wish to remind them. I wish to remind them that those 20, was it 20 young school children? 20 of them died in a fire. Have you guys heard anything back about the investigation, about the little girl that they charged, the trumped up charges, they put the blame on the little girl, all manner of things. Have you guys heard anything about that case and the little girl that they trumped up those charges on? Dashed her somewhere in some little pen and left her there. Have you guys heard anything? Where was Jennifer Westford? Where? Did you guys hear anything about that from her? When all of the PPP, we heard the PPP, they claim, the leadership or whatever, if you want to call that, leadership of the PPP regime said that of the 20 students who died, each family will be assigned a minister. Have you heard anything else after that? Nothing. When they dragged those little ones who were in the hospital recovering, dragged them over the Guyana, is it? And took photographs, grabbed them just for photo prop. But yet, Jennifer Westford and those lagu-bagus in the PPP regime are talking about the opposition, and I assume they're talking about APNU, APNU, Simona Brooms, and VPAC folks and so forth. I guess she's basically talking about them, that they're seeking political mileage. Well, let me say this to that knucklehead, that it is the duty of the opposition, real opposition I'm talking about, to go out there and stand up and represent the people. And that is what we need. We need more of that. We need more of what we witnessed APNU, PNC, and Simona Brooms and them did for the people over at Friendship. We need to see more of that grounding, sincere grounding and representation of the people. We need to see more, because you know what? That form of representation, and I know their bumps tickled because they never expected this sort of representation that they're seeing by APNU and PNC and Simona Brooms and VPAC and so forth. I don't know. I haven't seen Amanza Walton out there. Is she there in the spit? No, she's not there. I saw somebody at the edge of the car with a camera, and for a moment I thought it was Amanza, but that's not Amanza, because this is not her cup of tea of representation. It's more lights, camera, action, right? And good night, Amanza, if she's watching. So what else is happening? What else is happening? Um, what else is happening in Guyana other than the distractions and the political distractions in the extradition circus? Because that's what it is. It's been a game from the beginning. Some of you guys didn't recognize that it was a game. We told you right here on 107.1 FM that it's a game. All of them are friends. They're playing games. And the games that they're playing is at the expense of the ordinary poor people. But I wouldn't be surprised if actions across the board, whether it's the PPP, they might have to face maybe a couple more sanctions. Who knows? Who knows? Because of what they have done from the beginning with the Mohammed's extradition case. It's been a game, guys. We've been telling you guys from the beginning, from the minute they appeared in court and they got bail and the magistrates switched around and all manner of things. It's a game, guys. It is a game. And sooner rather than later, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and others will see it for what it is, that it's a game that's being played. At least maybe, who knows, that some U.S. law enforcement agencies, they've already recognized. In fact, maybe from the beginning, they recognized after they saw the gymnastics from day one, that they realized that they have been taken for granted. And they have been made into a circus by some of those very people, Anil and them, going around in circus, like a matikun, right? You go around in circle and you dance up and you thing up. Those law enforcement agents have found out, and they found out the hard way. The hard way. That is why there were other extradition requests. There were others, not that that youngster named some Bino. He wasn't the one. There were others. There were others, and the PPP knew. Anil knew, and Anil should be telling the nation who are the others. The extradition request, there were others. But after the jiggery pokery with the Mohammed stuff, I'm assuming here, mind you, that U.S. law enforcement agencies who have an interest in others there in Guyana, some big ones, they decided to pull back for a moment because they realized some law enforcement agents realized that they have been duped by Anil and the PPP regime. So this whole thing that you're seeing, it's a masquerade, it's a game. And you can't, one of the things though, you gotta say that we've been doing here with you guys is being consistent. There's no animosity, there's no jealousy over anyone. It was just a game. Then the agents had to leave the plane at Timeri Airport and then travel back on commercial flight and then go to Florida, and then back from Florida they had to whatever and then go back into Guyana, and because it was messed up from day one. It messed up. And the guys over here, the agents or the law enforcement agents and the agencies have realized that it was all a game. But by the time they realized that, it was too late. It was too late. Why do you think they pull back now and you're not hearing more extradition requests? You're not hearing anything else. Some credit card fraud or whatever name somebody was basically used there as a smoke screen, really a pawn, right? by some of them within the PPP. And then when the guy waived his extradition request, the guy said, no, he's going to go. The PPP said, well, look, you see, this is how it's being done, when they know very well that it is a game, guys. And every day we see the distraction. We saw the distraction leading up to the 2020 elections. We saw the distractions during elections day. We saw the distractions after elections. And we continue to see the distractions. But because some are getting carried away by the distraction, distractions, they can't see the bigger picture. What is really happening right in front of them? Some of them see it as a game. Some of them think it's a skin teeth. But in fact, it's not. It's huge. It's big. And if you pull back and you see the game that's being played, and you see how some people are being played also, some people are being taken advantage of politically and otherwise, but because they're blind politically, they can't see that. Some of them, and this is not to insult people who take a little freck, but some allow the little freck, the little 5,000 for a little t-shirt, the little 20,000 or 15,000 to go out and vote or whatever. They're distracted by that. They couldn't see that it is a setup, a political setup. And so Guyana is undergoing this sort of, it's a fighting to see where Guyana is going to be in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. And the battle is really good over evil. You guys now have to wise up. You have to wise up and see what is happening. And as you wise up yourselves, you will get to understand who is really for you and who is taking you down a path of course, destruction, and who doesn't really mean any form of good representation for you. I see the mistakes. Trust me. But when you talk about it, some people bumps raised, they cuss up, they go on. It's okay. It's okay. And you can only behave that way because you can't see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture for some is cuss up and go on and abuse out. And, fancy gallop doesn't win race. Cussing, abusing out gets you nowhere. It's never the bigger picture. It's just for the moment. And when the lights, cameras, and actions are over, and you're satisfied with your cussing out and abusing out, it's back to reality. And what is back to reality? The country still remains the same, and the people need proper representation. That's what's happening. Look at all the things. People jumping through the windows, committing suicide, botched C-section. Every day is something in that small country. Every single day. But what the PPP does, apart from the other distractions, is they come and they show you some hotels, 400 rooms, 200 rooms. I guess all the people going to go in those hotel rooms and they're going to fold their feet and they're going to eat and they got sane and they got chate and they go sit down and they go eat and they go cook up and they go throw cash strip in the cook up and everybody's going to eat and they're going to have fun in the hotel. And we draw that fun thing. But these pacos in the PPP, I noticed Jack Day when Irfan and all them put up big hotel, 200 room, 400 rooms, right? It's a way of enriching their friends and their cronies, give them big fancy, big lands so that they could put up hotel, short term, long term, whatever. It's a money-making thing. And so while they give all the prime lands away to their friends and their cronies, remember they're notorious in doing that, they try to blame APNU AFC for that. But APNU AFC was balancing out the scale. And the PPP got Bazadi because what APNU AFC, what they were doing, government, they were balancing out the scale. And the PPP got angry because they don't want the scales to be balanced. They want to give their friends all the prime lands until when they fall out, right? Remember, the Mohammeds got 83,000 acres of land, 83,000 acres. Any one of you in the audience there, you think you could get 8 acres? You think you could get 8 house lot? You think you could get a house lot? Sorry, I almost sound like somebody that said house, right? There's my friend Conan. Conan Marshall, good night to you. House? You think you could get a house? And let me just say hi to the guys from the what do you call them again? The Conan Marshall and his crew, them, right? Theodore Best and Theodore Adams, sorry, yeah, and all of those guys, the highlighters, right? You think you guys, the ordinary Guyanese, could get those things? And so they give away to all their friends and their cronies. Their friends and their cronies, and when they fall out, they fight and they use the ordinary people on this side and that side to fight their battle for them. And tonight I'm asking you, turn to your neighbors, turn to your friends, turn to them right now and say, we're going to break that chain. We are going to break that chain. I don't know if you guys probably saying that, what's going on with Ben Shah, but break that chain, because you're in bondage. Some of you are in bondage, and I don't say that to disrespect anybody. Some of you are in bondage. Political bondage, spiritual bond, maybe too, who knows? I'm not here to condemn anybody and their spirituality and their religion or whatever, but you're in bondage. And that's what's happening in Guyana. You are in bondage, and the people who have what it takes to open that cage and set you free, you guys have rejected them for the most part. But you prefer to have individuals who keep you in that cage, hold on to the key, and then only come occasionally to give you a little something, give you a little cash grant, throw a little 5,000 at you, pretend as though they care about you, and you're still in that cage. And the real people who want to let you out of that cage and let Guyana breathe again, y'all turn your backs against them. Y'all cuss them, y'all abuse them, they're this, they're that. Hopefully reality will kick in. Hopefully what I'm saying tonight is not passing from one ear to the next. I know you guys understand exactly what I'm saying here this evening. I know you guys know exactly what I'm saying here. And so I listened back to these folks here. I listened to a live, I think it was Simona Brooms at Dr. Dexter Todd's office, attorney at law, and those young attorneys and others fighting, real fight. You see, I know real fighters when I see real fighters. And I see some real fighters, by the way. I see some real fighters. And those people who are fighting, and I'm not talking about the distractions and the comedy and these sort of things, comedy politics. I'm not talking about that, right? Because Guyana is too mature. Guyana is too rich for us to be reduced to the level of comedy, skin teeth politics. Where my coins at? Because it's bare nonsense. Nonsense. It's not real politics, it's distraction. And the rich ones are getting richer and richer, and the ordinary, hardworking people, the working class people, are being distracted. And what else? Anyways, I'm glad that these folks at Friendship, they're getting somewhere. And we say kudos to those who are standing up to really and truly represent these people. I don't know where they're sleeping tonight. I don't know where they are, but they certainly needed something to help them move. Whether it's a donkey cart, a horse cart, even as a wheelbarrow, they could borrow from somebody. But these people need a lot of wheelbarrows. They need representation, not the distraction. Representation. I see George Tanner is saying here, those friendship squatters are all PPP supporters. I don't know how George Tanner got to be a sea farmer or something to know all of them are PPP supporters. All of them just so dry. George Tanner come out. Just so dry. George Tanner said they're all PPP supporters. I don't know how we look at an entire community with over 150 or so people and say all of them are PPP supporters. Now, I don't doubt you that may be a few. I don't doubt you at all. But that's how we say, you know, like and say, I mean, everybody. I don't know. Thanks again, guys. And Simona was supposed to be on the show last night. She was tired, and that's understandable. That's understandable. But what else is happening in your neck of the woods that you want to talk about? I noticed the people out in Kokwani, they're not getting the sort of representation that they were promised, and we all knew that it was going to be what it is. Promises, elections promises, and brainwashing. People in Ituni and the road from Linden there to Kokwani, running through Ituni, is still in a very horrible state. You think the PPP, you think they care about that? You think they are concerned about that? No, they're not. And so we see guys like Sharma Solomon and others out there in Linden trying to make the best of the situation and highlight the situation and so forth. We see, and that is what we call representation. Real representation, not politics of distraction and the billions of dollars. Who is keeping an eye on the billions of oil revenues? What about the natural resource fund? Is it oil resource fund? What about that? Is Jagdeer ducking his hand in it? Is Irfan Ali ducking his hands in it and picking out your money from the piggy bank and counting it amongst their families, the millions, the hundreds of millions, and all of these things? Is that what they're doing? While the politics of distraction, because remember, they came out today and they said that the 100,000, yeah, right, big deal. The 100,000 by this month end, it will drop. Ting-a-ling! It will drop into your accounts. And you all must be happy because half of that is going back into electricity bill. Quarter of that is going back into water. And the other quarter in transportation. So you get nothing for food. You get nothing for your kids. You basically get nothing. Absolutely nothing. But you ask those politicians, you ask Susan Rodriguez, you ask Susan if she is going to take care of her family with 100,000 Guyana dollars. These people drink it out in a night. One bottle of wine at those big hot shot places. One bottle of wine is more than 100,000 Guyana dollars. These people swallow it. Swallow it. 100,000 in less than an hour. They drink it out. I'm talking about all those vagabonds in the hierarchy of the PPP regime. Whether they swallow it, some fancy wine, fancy rum, they go around the cathedral and they dash it away. It's done. 100,000. They cannot, and they're not going to take 100,000 to take care of their families. They're not. They spend that probably in an hour on chicken, pulori, and they now eat prawns, right? Prawns. They no longer eat little fine shrimps and cockabelly fish and flounder and tengre. I don't know how many of you know tengre, but they no longer eat that, and koras and so forth. They don't even want to eat hassa because a little bone got fastened between their teeth. They don't want to eat hassa, so they're fancy people now. That's what they are, fancy. $100,000. Them a give you know. One or two of them were watching and they don't want to come on the line. They might be sucking their teeth. They must be sucking their teeth because they say 100,000. Granger didn't give nothing. Well, I bet you this. I'll tell you this. If the coalition was still in office today, Guyana would have been 10 years ahead of time. But instead, you have a corrupt PPP regime, no leadership, no vision, no policies, nothing that makes sense. They have taken Guyana 20 years back. Back into the corrupt PPP 20 years. Back again to corruption. Back again to frustration. There's nothing. There's no new development. There's absolutely nothing. All they're doing, they're going on TikTok, like Priya Manik Chan and them. And that's all they do. They're playing up for the cameras. And some of you fall for that camera tricks, you know. You don't want these politicians to play up to the cameras. You want them to play up meaningfully in your communities. You want better water, right? Like, if you want better water. You tell them that. That's what you want. You don't want them every day picture on TikTok, and some of y'all saying, oh, Priya would make a good president. Priya, give me a break. What good president? What good president? Y'all falling for them traps, the man. But look, are they addressing the water? They wouldn't give their kids this to drink. They wouldn't even give their dog to drink this. They won't even give their pets in the yard to drink these sort of things. They wouldn't. But they want your family to drink it. They want your family to bathe, take a shower in this sort of water. They want your little babies, your newborn babies, to bathe with this sort of water, this condition. They don't care. But yet they're talking about development. How can a country, look, the best years in over 2 decades in Guyana, some of you might get a little thing and suck your teeth because, of course, the coalition wasn't perfect, but we saw where they were going. It was 100% better without oil money. How many of you know that without oil money, the coalition government increased the water, the condition of the water throughout the country? It was done under the coalition government. People had water running all the way upstairs, shower. Compliments of the coalition government. And when the PPP got back into office through questionable means in 2020, guess who they put to run the Guyana Water Incorporated back again? Guess who they put? A man named Sheikh Bach. How many of you know Sheikh Bach, who was there before? Serious allegations of corruption, mind you. Allegations of corruption. And so the corrupt PPP regime took short man, Sheikh Bach, and put Sheikh Bach right back there. Right there to run a system. And after billions of dollars being spent, look at the condition of the water. Take a look at the condition of the water. That's what's happening. Water. And some of y'all think that the 100,000 Guyana dollars, less than 500 US, it's a good thing. It's better than none. Of course it's better. It's your money. But you deserve more than that. You shouldn't be getting 100,000 every 6 months. You know, a real government would have been able to drop every 6 months an entire household, every 6 months, $1 million every 6 months, because you deserve that. The oil money is your money. But what the coalition was going to do that, to spend the oil money, your money, in your communities, on you, on our schools, on our young people, and all these things, and even the elderly, the pensioners. So the PPP gave the pensioners a couple dollars, maybe about 10 or 12 US dollars. Hey, y'all take that. We give y'all an increase. And that's supposed to be something that people are supposed to be happy about. When Irfan and these guys are taking home millions upon millions of dollars, I'm not talking about the other set of hundreds of millions that they're getting from wherever else they're getting it. But poor people are the ones who have to continue to suffer. Not only the water, the electricity under the coalition government was top-notch. After over 23 years, the PPP couldn't get it right. Guyana Power and Light, GPL, wasn't making a profit. In fact, they were corrupt. From top down, corruption galore. Big businessmen were thieving electricity left, right, and center. And those so-called businessmen were all connected to the PPP regime. They were stealing electricity to the tune of millions upon millions of dollars every month. And they're just profiting, and getting richer and richer. And the ordinary man and woman in Georgetown, whether it's Tiger Bay, whether it's Sophia, wherever, not just Georgetown, they're going to rush them down. If they owe 3,000 or 4,000 Guyana dollars in electricity bill, they're going to clip their electricity, cut it off, cut their wire, climb up the pole, cut their wires, and that's it. And so they got a saying, no tricks, no living, right? Because you see those big boys, those so-called business people, thieving electricity, and then only the ordinary, the small guy, the small man and woman are the ones who are oftentimes being targeted and exposed. You take your photograph and say, look, they're thieving electricity. But they're not going to go to the big ones running big businesses. Right now, there are so many big businesses in Georgetown connected to the PPP regime who are stealing electricity. And then let's not talk, under the coalition, GPL started to make a profit. When the PPP got placed into office again, everything gone right back to corruption. Corruption galore. They put back their old people there, and it's just corruption galore. GPL is no longer making a profit. Under the coalition, you hardly experience blackout, right, in Georgetown. Under the PPP, you're getting 10, minimum 10, sometimes 15, 20 blackouts per day. Under the PPP regime, oil wealth is going in the wrong places, in a set of people's pockets who are corrupt. And so when you look at Cuba get blackout for one day or so, big blackout. Every day, Guyana is like Cuba and worse. Every single day. In Guyana, oil money, billions of dollars, gold money. Y'all think the gold board change? Y'all don't know they get people smuggling gold still in Guyana? And how the gold is being sent out, smuggled out of the country? They're still smuggling. Allegations that the Mohammeds were smuggling gold for all those years. The Mohammeds weren't the only one allegedly smuggling gold. There are scores of others, and all of them are connected to the PPP regime. And what the ordinary people get: dark water, blackout, frustration, high cost of living, unemployment, you name it. Young people have nothing to do, nowhere good to go, nothing at all. But you're telling me with the billions of dollars in oil revenue, that even if, let us say, for 1 year, you don't have to just give people $100,000 and think that, oh, it's just like when they were with the corrupt PPP regime, and when that lady, Priya Manik Chan, the TikTok queen, y'all don't fall for the trap, the TikTok queen, right? When she was Minister of Education, they didn't care about the people. They didn't care about young people. The education system went down, 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 down. And they were only concentrating on Queen's College and a couple other, maybe one or two recognized high schools. But the bulk of the high schools around the country, they didn't give a rat's horse about those high schools. Multi in New Amsterdam, Lower Quarantine, Comprehensive. Look at Winifred Gaskin Memorial Secondary School. Find out what's going on and how they want to thief that piece of land, destroy the school, thief the piece of land, according to information, and give it to Exxon. And that's what's going on. And then these people want to come to you guys to tell you that they care about you, that Priya cares about you. She doesn't. She's offering you guys false hope, putting on some makeup and thing and run and put on the camera and gone TikTok. And then she got this sad face. If y'all don't know her, y'all will really feel that she really means well for the country, right? Tell me something. Sorry, I gotta get my wig and lipstick for that. Jack Dale, smuggle two in, right? Tell me something. Give me a goddamn break. How are you guys doing tonight, though? I don't know. Sometimes I didn't realize I can abuse like this. Hey, I could abuse, right? It's not really abusing. It's telling the truth and to let you guys know exactly what the PPP is doing and continue to corrupt Guyana. And that if you guys don't pay attention to the politics of distraction, tomorrow's another day and they can distract y'all with the coins because it works in the PPP's favor, right? They distract y'all with the coins and they distract y'all with this and distract y'all with that and distract. Meanwhile, what's happening to the people in the country that if we don't see the guys like Apnu and VPAC and those guys moving in and Simona Brooms moving in and saying, don't worry with the politics of distraction. There are real issues that we have to deal with on the ground. And that is what they're doing. And I appreciate that maturity of their politics. I'm still watching, but I like what I'm seeing. It's good representation. It's solid representation. It's representation from the heart. And I like representation from the heart. I know when representations are from the heart. My name is Mark Benchap, and I am telling you guys from my heart, I've got to depart for now, but I'll be back tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here. Tomorrow's Friday, right? Yep. Queen Aries, how are you doing? Tomorrow is Friday. And tomorrow, we will talk again. We will hopefully not get back into the political distractions. Lots of it we're seeing. Lots of it. You got to go to bed tonight and pray, whatever way I'll pray. If y'all boss a coconut, y'all pray. Praying is praying, right? Afraz and Queen Aries, Hanifa, right? Yeah. These are people with strong names, good names. Good names. In the event that you have to go to court any day, and it's your religion, just tell the magistrate that you got to worship. You can't go to court. Guyana is something else, guys, right? And the mature politics, some of you, if y'all can't read between the lines, if y'all can't read between the lines. Ras, Ricardo telling me bring Amanza tomorrow. Bring Amanza tomorrow for what? Give me a good reason. Bring Amanza tomorrow for what? To talk about what? Talk about what, Ricardo? I'm not insulting you or anything. You know, you're a regular listener. Um, I can invite Miss Amanza Walton has been here on several occasions, but what we bring in Amanza Walton this year tomorrow for? You tell me. And maybe, who knows, maybe we can bring her. But for what? For what? I'm out of here, guys. I'll be back. I'll be back tomorrow, same place, same time. God bless you all. Continue to pray for Guyana. Continue to pray for Guyana. Lots of prayers. Lots and lots of prayers. The dog show politics continues. The dog show politics, that's what it is. Dog show politics in Guyana. Anyways, I'm out of here. Let me give a plug to this Mother's Day boat ride, May 10th. And it's around the corner. So up to now, the folks responsible for this, Joylyn and others, we got to get an ad with their numbers so that you guys, it's going to be a big, big, big boat ride. I will be there. I will be there. I don't care if I got to pay for my ticket with coins. I don't care. I don't care. I'll get my coins and I'll pay for my ticket, but I'll go out and support the system. I'm out of here, guys. Have a good night. God bless you. And if you're celebrating your birth anniversary or whatever you're celebrating, we are with you. We pray for you, and we wish you guys all the best. The good, clean-hearted people. We wish you nothing but the best. Again, I repeat, the clean-hearted people. Because, the Bible said pray for everybody, but you pray for your enemy, me praying for me enemy. Yeah, I'll try that. Sorry that I have to put it over like that, but I'm out of here. God bless you.
And everybody know we run the country, Lord. We out of GT, and now we got the GT money. But we just rum dance all and we pack party. Capach and cracker jack, we in a category. And anything we do, the radio station have a play. Cause people in the party just a ball, hooray. We from GT and then we love ladies. And them rush we when we come a party. But look, we jump on your mic, we make your party alright. I read them what we are singing, it make you bubble and think. We out of GT, and everybody know we run the country, Lord. We out of GT, and now we get the GT money. I saw me born a grow, me say, in a Pleasance. Since I was a youth, I was a ram dance man. Born a grow in a Victoria. In granny say, why you better be a singer? Papa have a house, me say, in a Pleasance. Watches have a house, a Victoria back dam. Papa have a minibus, I walk the city. Watches have a cold one, it my walk the country. We out of GT, bye. Body know we run the country. Like me say, we out of GT, hey. And now we get the GT money. Hey, some are DJ and some are singer. And when you check them out, you find them a small timer. We are the